Good evening. It's the Oscar expert here. First Man trailer came out a few days ago. Really anticipate a movie from nearly anybody who is a fan of film, because Damien Chazelle recently won an Oscar for directing La La Land. He did Whiplash, it's a great movie.
The man is 2 for 2 in terms of Best Picture nominations. This is one of the top movies of the year that people are going to look out for Oscar. For a Best Picture nomination, it seems like this movie's got at least like a 50 to 80% chance.
I mean, all it has to do is just be good.
If it's underwhelming, it maybe doesn't make it up there, but it has to be quite underwhelming for that to happen, which is kind of hard to imagine
based on that trailer. I mean, that was a good trailer.
Damien Chazelle for director?
The director category is really for those directors who are doing something big. And this movie looks like it's doing something big. You're going to the moon. He's taking you to the moon. That's gonna get him a director nomination. Best Actor is the next on the list, and I think this one's pretty big. Ryan Gosling, he's playing Neil Armstrong, big historical figure that we don't really know a lot about personally.
He's also in the package for this movie. This movie gets nominated for Best Picture and a bunch of other awards. Gosling gets nominated. He's gonna give a lot to it. He always gives a lot to his performances.
Lots of close-ups too. Good for the actors.
Absolutely.
And good for Claire Foy as well. It looks like there's a lot of attention to this family drama, and her character is certainly going to be an integral part of that.
You can tell in the trailer she's gonna have a scene. She has one good scene, and she gets in supporting actress. She's also a huge rising star, and she's gonna be in so many movies, including the Girl with Dragon Tattoo movie. She's popping up really everywhere, and it's about time that she could get a nomination.
Next down the line is Screenplay. It's gonna be adapted screenplay. Damien Chazelle wrote Whiplash and La La Land, but he didn't write this one, so that's the only minor concern I would have about the movie. Even though the writer did win an Oscar for Spotlight and wrote The Post, those movies were like a little straightforward. Maybe not the most exciting, even though they're well done. But, you know, obviously Damien Chazelle saw something in this script that he could relate to his own stories.
This movie is on a factory line of how to make an Oscar movie. You start with a screenplay by Josh Singer, the writer of Spotlight, who writes movies that are just for awards. And then you put on Academy Award winning director Damien Chazelle, totally conveyor belt Academy Award movie.
I think you have easy cinematography. I mean, the space movies get nominated all the time. This one's like an IMAX thing. It's the same cinematographer of La La Land, which won cinematography.
It really does look like it's more intensely shot. It doesn't look like other space movies. It looks more grainy.
Or other biopics, for that matter.
More realistic, that's true. It's gonna do camera shit. It's gonna be showy cinematography. La La Land was showy cinematography. We all remember the car scene. There's gonna be such a scene probably taking place in space this time. It's going to get nominated for cinematography. Another thing it's locked in to get nominated for is editing. The editing in Damien Chazelle's movies is just, it's just to create such tension and such thrills that you're gonna see this getting nominated.
It's thrillers and editing. Thrillers and editing. Another rule for space movies that get nominated for Oscars is that they get production design, but no costumes.
And they also get sound. They have to get sound. This movie has to get sound mixing and sound editing.
Visual effects is probably likely. It looks like they are using a fair amount of practical effects, but the fact that it's an IMAX, it's probably gonna have some really incredible looking visual effects shots.
It's not a visual effects CGI mess, okay? But it will have visual effects.
The score is being done by Justin Hurwitz, who did La La Land and Whiplash. He won for La La Land, that was a great score. You don't really need to say a whole lot more. So this right here is 12 nominations. Obviously the movie, if it lives up to the hype, could be a huge contender. The only question now is, will it be Damien Chazelle's first flop? Or will he fly once again?
I think he's going to the moon on this one.
Everyone's got their flops though. You know, David O. Russell flopped with Joy.
Ang Lee flopped with Billy Lynn's Halftime Walk. Alexander Payne flopped with Downsizing. Tom Hooper flopped with The Danish Girl after two Oscar movies in a row. After 2 Oscar movies in a row, it's a flop.
Well, after a few Oscar movies, you know, Quentin Tarantino, The Hateful Eight didn't get nominated for much. You know, that shit happens, but you can't predict it. Especially with someone like Damien Chazelle who hasn't failed just yet.
Overall, you know, could this movie win Best Picture? I would say 10 years ago you should be calling it to win Best Picture, but now it's not the most relevant movie. It's kind of like we're seeing Apollo 13 being made 20 years after. They want movies that are having a dialogue with society. And First Man has no stake in there.
Not to say it won't have any meaning, but it might not have that socially conscious shit. That's why they didn't give La La Land Best Picture and why they did give Moonlight Best Picture. Subscribe for more. And we'll see you next time.